ശരിക്കും ഒരു പുസ്തകത്തിലെ നജീബിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഫ്രെയിമിൽ നിന്നും സ്ക്രീൻ പ്ലേയിലേക്ക് എത്തുന്ന ഒരു നജീബ് ഒക്കെ എഴുതി വെച്ചിരുന്ന ഡയലോഗുകൾ ഒക്കെ ഒരു ലൊക്കേഷനിലേക്ക് എത്തി ഇദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ രൂപമാറ്റങ്ങളിലേക്ക് വന്നു കഴിയുമ്പോൾ ഞങ്ങൾ അറിയാതെ മൂന്നാമത്തെ ഒരു ജനറേഷനിലേക്ക് വരികയാണ്. അതാണ് ഈ സിനിമയ്ക്കുണ്ടായ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ കെമിസ്ട്രി എന്ന് വേണമെങ്കിൽ പറയുന്നത്. അത് അത്ര ഒരു മാജിക്കിലേക്ക് എന്നുവെച്ചാൽ ഇങ്ങനെ ഡയലോഗ് ഇയാൾക്ക് പറയാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ല എന്നുള്ളത് ആ വേഷത്തിൽ തന്നെ എത്തി ആ ക്യാരക്ടറുടെ ഇൻവോൾവ്മെൻറ്റിൽ അറിയാതെ പോകുന്നതാണ്. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ കൊണ്ടുപോയിട്ടുള്ള ഇതാണ് എൻ്റെ ഒരു മേക്കിങ്ങിൻ്റെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ ആ സ്വഭാവത്തിൻ്റെ ആ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ അനുസരിച്ചാണ് അത് വളർന്നുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. അല്ലാതെ എഴുതി വെച്ചതല്ല ശരിക്കും ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്തത്.
So, I mean, she associates the whole film with my beard because I used to be sporting a really long beard for the longest time and she thought it was very cool. So, she keeps associating Aadijivitham with, the time Dada had the beard. I don't know if there is a film I'd want her to see. And I've made this remark before and people have taken it out of context. When I said that, I have not shown my films to my daughter. I've had to field questions where people have asked me, then how do you come out and say that, others should go to theatres with family and watch the film? The difference being that when my daughter watches a film of mine, she's only 9, she will keep seeing her father on screen. She will not see an actor. Unlike your children, who will see Prithviraj the actor. So it's a different contextual scenario where a 9-year-old child will have to go and see her father on screen doing things that she never sees him doing otherwise. So for that reason, I have not shown her any of my films. But this is one film when at some point I will proudly show her. And if at one point my daughter turns around and asks me, were you an actor? What does being an actor mean? I think the first film I'll show her is Aadijivitham.
I don't know how Oscar has become a standard in this thing. I would say, see, I'll tell you, Oscar just happened a few hours ago. 15 years ago, when we won the Oscar, in one of this press meet like this, when me and Rahman was there, one of the press asked, "You guys got an Oscar, so what's the big deal about it?" I remember AR saying that next 10 years is going to be Indian cinema's golden period. 15 years today, just look back at what happened in Indian cinema. Malayalam, Tamil, Marathi, Assamese film, Gujarati films. Every stream of filmmaking in this country has evolved, has gone leap and bound. And today, we are sitting here, we are talking about a regional film which were considered to be very minuscule in the whole gamut of Indian cinema. We are saying that is Oscar-worthy. I'm not saying it, you guys are saying it. So that's how it has evolved. That is how we have come so far in the last 15 years. I think that is tremendous. The youngsters who came in and changed the entire game in the last 10 years of Malayalam cinema and other regional cinemas. That's the most beautiful thing. And I think Aadijivitham is in the pinnacle of that.
Sorry to cut in. I think the respect which each industry is giving and getting. People in Pakistan are talking about Malayalam movies. Yeah. And when did we see the South Indian heroes transcending to North India? It was never allowed. It's so easy now, and it's because of the talent and what they're doing. Great.
Sir, it was always there. If you look at the history of Indian cinema, like Anil Kapoor, Jitendra, all these people started from the South, and South Indian films are very big in the 60s and 70s. And if you look at the biggest musical that has come in Indian cinema, it was always from the South.
I mean, native South Indian actors.
Yeah, true. So, I mean, Shivaji Ganesan was big, MGR was big, they all were there. But now looking at South Indian cinema and trying, okay, what are we doing wrong? Hindi cinema is thinking, there's something wrong about us. When I feel what is wrong about Indian cinema, Hindi cinema today, is that they started making packages. Last 10 years, that's what they did. The middle class Indian is no more a subject of discussion in Hindi cinema in the last 10 years. Probably last Gajini is a film where we saw a middle class girl, So you've taken a fair share of people from your storytelling. They're obviously going to go against you. And if you look at regional cinema, regional literature It is rooted, regional cinema's writing is rooted in regional literature. So where the literature is strong, you have strong subjects and you have strong cinema. That's what I think is lacking in Hindi cinema right now. Time to look back. And writing is very strong in the cinema, and a lot of literature influence is making, a film. Like one element of a film become a point of a journey. Manjumal Boys, for example. You take one element 30 years ago, you see in one song, and that is become a filmic idea. So those are the things that are happening. People are like flourishing. So it's so beautiful to be part of that movement, I would say.
ആക്ടർ പ്രഭാസ് ഇപ്പം സിനിമയുടെ പോസ്റ്റർ ആണെങ്കിലും ട്രെയിലർ ആണെങ്കിലും ഇറങ്ങുമ്പോൾ എല്ലാം ഷെയർ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. ഐ ഹോപ്പ് ഹീസ് മോർ എക്സൈറ്റഡ് അബൌട്ട് ദിസ് ഫിലിം. അപ്പോൾ ട്രെയിലർ കണ്ടിട്ടുള്ള അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ഒരു റിയാക്ഷൻ എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു, എന്താണ് പറഞ്ഞത്?
പ്രഭാസ് ട്രെയിലർ വളരെ നേരത്തെ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്. പ്രഭാസിന് ഭയങ്കര ആകാംക്ഷയോടുകൂടി ഈ സിനിമ ഇറങ്ങുമ്പോൾ കാണണം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ്, പിന്നെ അഫ്കോഴ്സ് ഞങ്ങളിപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനൊരു we are quite close in the sense we have done a whole film together. Salar Part 2 is going to start shoot very soon. In fact, very, very soon. So we are in touch, and he is a very good friend now. When I'm in Hyderabad, I definitely touch base with Prabhas. Not just that, wherever I am, we are in touch. അപ്പോൾ ഈ സിനിമയുടെ കാര്യം പ്രഭാസും ഇൻഫാക്ട് പ്രശാന്ത് നീലൊക്കെ ഇടയ്ക്കിടയ്ക്ക് എന്നോട് ചോദിക്കുന്നത് ഡെസേർട്ട് ഫിലിം എന്നാണ്. ഇപ്പോൾ പിന്നെ ഇന്നലെ നിങ്ങൾ കണ്ട ട്രെയിലറൊക്കെ പ്രഭാസും പ്രശാന്തും വളരെ നേരത്തെ എൻ്റെ ഫോണിൽ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ട്.
நேற்றுக்கு வந்து பிருத்விராஜ் சார் கிட்ட பேசின போது சொன்னார், இந்த படத்துக்கு நான் ஒவ்வொரு வாட்டியும் பார்க்கும்போது நான் திருப்பி போய் வேறு ஏதாவது புதுசாக பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு, அந்த அளவுக்கு எனக்கு ஸ்பெஷலாக இருக்குது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. பட் மியூசிக் வரும்போது இந்த படத்துக்கு மியூசிக்கோட முக்கியத்துவம் என்ன சார்? பிகாஸ் வந்து இட்ஸ் நாட் ஹை ஆன் டைலாக்ஸ், பட் மியூசிக் இஸ் ஒன் ஆஃப் த கேரக்டர்ஸ் இந்த ஃபிலிம். அதை பற்றி வந்து சொல்லுங்கள் சார்.
இந்த படத்தை மியூசிக்கால கெடுக்கலாம். Because music தப்பா போட்டோம்னா I think எழுந்து போயிடுங்க அந்த மாதிரி. So if somebody is having an emotion on screen, the characters have an emotion, and constantly have to check whether I'm over preempting the emotion or adding too much to what he's doing or countering it. Countering it is what I wanted to try in this one. If somebody is crying, I should not be crying too. That'll be too much. So I should be almost like a hugging embrace, mother-like character in the music. Sometimes, as I said, it's a more divine character. And actually, I scored this 3 times. I scored it, and they took it for festival, showing it. Then I saw it, I didn't like it. Then I changed many portions. And I also evolved with the, initially it was, I know how to do it. And then I said, no, I did it all wrong. So I went back to him and said, please take it away, I'm going to do it again. So I think the score, past 3-4 months have evolved so much. In some other place I had to fight him, said please don't put that music, I'm going to change that. He said no, I like the previous one. No, please trust me.
Even though you managed with your date for Aadu Jeetam, what made you to dedicate yourself for this?
What made me dedicate 6 years to this film? The pandemic.
Even losing a weight and gaining that?
The pandemic, actually.
Okay.
All of it was never meant to be 6 years. We were supposed to finish shooting in 2 years, which was a reasonable time frame for a film like this. I mean, you will need at least 2 years to do a film like this with an actor going through such a big transformation. And that plan was very set, and we were all very comfortable with it. But then the pandemic happened, and then we had to sort of change locations in the last minute. So we started in Kerala, then we went to Jordan, then we had to come back, then we restarted in Algeria, then came back to Jordan, then came back to Kerala. So all this put together just went on for a while. But having said that, now when I see the film, it's all worth it. I have absolutely no regrets. It's all worth it. What is my 6 years? There's a person sitting next to me who's given 16 years. So, what am I complaining about?
So, what was an exciting factor that you found in Malayalam film industry and other than the languages?
Wow, that's a very big question.
Thank you.
But right on point. I think I've said this before. I don't know if you're familiar with the history of cinema, but the Lumiere brothers have first invented the camera, and then the first 3 countries to purchase the camera were the Moroccans and the Egyptians and the Indians. So from the get-go, Indian cinema has more than 50, probably more than 60 years ahead of humanity. So in answer to your question, I think I went back to school again. It was so amazing to see very talented people who are very dedicated and very passionate, and I can't put it like lightly when I say very passionate. If there's one thing in this room, like let's say we're shooting right now, and maybe the lighting is not proper, then they'll change it. No, they won't just change it. They'll change the whole setting, even the outside environment. Whenever there's a need, there's always a way. I think that was probably the biggest lesson I learned about Malayalam cinema. I remember also a few years back that our lead actor, Prithviraj, his mother was caught in a flood or something of that nature. There were some floods, and we had to stop shooting for a while because there was a big element of danger. Had it been anyone else, right, they probably would have just said, okay, you know what, we're not going to do this. But no, through it all, through monsoon season, through the pandemic, through everything. And, I can't stress it enough, and I've mentioned this before, it is not easy to lose weight and gain weight really, really fast. You can be very, very sick, right? It's happened with different actors. But the fact that he's here with us right now and that everybody that has worked on this film is still here with us is a testament to Malayalam cinema's can-do attitude that we can all learn from in different industries around the world. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you only select Dubdo in Karnataka.
Yes.
In this movie, ಅದೇ ಸರ್ ಡಬ್ಬಿಂಗ್ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಬೇರೆ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮ
I have to call Prashant Neel now.
Okay.
His question is that you have for Salar you have dubbed in all 5 languages.
Yes.
What about Adu Jeevitam? You only doing in a.
If you will wind up this press meet, I'm going to dub it in Hindi today.
And then what about Kannada?
Tomorrow.
Oh, okay, fine. So we can hear voice in Kannada also.
Yes.
When you reach to Adu Jeevitam, when you play a role of positivity like Ibrahim, how you value yourself as an individual who can relate to Najib also. Najib's story is a story of struggle, but still he is positive. Was that your motto also?
Thank you for the question. I guess a big part of my life has been going against the wave. So it's always been a struggle, but a struggle I always welcome. And as you said, I met the first part of the struggle in Haiti, met another phase of it when I grew up in Paris, to the point where I became homeless. And that didn't stop me. And I continued, lived in many other places, lived in Spain, Italy, South Africa, England, to continue to pursue a search of life, of understanding who I was, my meaning on this planet and Earth. And once you have a purpose, anything can happen. So with that in mind, and of course, as you know, then I ended up in Hollywood, and I've been there for about 25 years. But with that in mind, it was easier to understand Najib's experience, because when there is hope, you will have success, and regardless on what the movie went through, what Blessy, the cast and crew went through to bring this project, because it was so full of hope behind it, we always end up seeing the light at the end of it all. So maybe I channeled a little bit of that while doing the movie in Algeria and Jordan.
The best award is all of them seeing the movie. And I think beyond that, there's no award.
ആടുജീവിതത്തിലേക്ക് വരുമ്പം ഈ മരുഭൂമിയുടെ സൗണ്ടിനെ എങ്ങനെയായിരിക്കും വ്യത്യസ്തമാക്കുന്നത് ആടുജീവിതത്തിൽ?
Actually, it was something that I always wanted to say. ഞാനും ബ്ലസ്സിയായിട്ട് ഫിലിം ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ബ്ലസ്സി പറഞ്ഞത് സിനിമ തുടങ്ങുന്നത് കേരളത്തിലാണ്. ഒരുപാട് വെള്ളം, ഒരുപാട് പച്ചപ്പ്, ഒരുപാട് പ്രകൃതി. അവിടുന്ന് ഇയാൾ പോകുന്നത് ഒരു മരുഭൂമിയിലാണ് എത്തിപ്പെടുന്നത്. അവിടെ ഒന്നുമില്ല, കാറ്റ് മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ. വരണ്ട ജീവിതം അവിടെ അദ്ദേഹം കടന്നു പോകുന്ന ഇത് എത്രത്തോളം എനിക്ക് സൗണ്ടിൽ കൊണ്ടുവരാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ എനിക്കറിയത്തില്ല. പക്ഷേ ഇഫ് യു ലുക്ക് അറ്റ് ദ എൻറ്റയറിറ്റി ഓഫ് സൗണ്ട്, AR knowingly or unknowingly he has brought it in. And ഈ സിനിമ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഹാഫ് ഓഫ് ദ ഫിലിം, if you look at the score, it is completely different film altogether. Look at the sound of it. And second half, if you look at it, it's you don't even believe that, you know, this man has changed the whole landscape with the score, you know. So it's two different films when you look at it in terms of sound, which, you know, me and Blessy has been discussing right from 2018 onwards. But subconsciously, AR has achieved it. So whatever you know, when the film is done, you talk about sound. It actually came from AR, and I just complimented it. You know, for me, it's two different films. There is a pre-interval Adujividam, which has a completely different score, which has completely different orchestration, sound, very rooted, and it has completely different sound in the second half. It's a completely different film. You can just watch Adujividam second half, and you can just transcend yourself. So it's very, very spiritual, very moving, very. So it reminds me of a very old film called Sanjari, which is you know, Rasool Ganiwal in a part into. So it goes into a step ahead of that. So for me, these two films, and he made it possible. And it's one of his best work. The Rahman that I heard when I was in the film school in 1992, I hear it in Adujividam.
ഇവിടെ എനിക്ക് പെട്ടെന്ന് തോന്നിയ ഒരു കാര്യം കൂടെ, ഈ സിനിമയുടെ ആദ്യത്തെ സീനുകൾ എഴുതുമ്പോൾ ഒരു പരന്ന മരുഭൂമി ആദ്യമായി കാണിക്കുമ്പോൾ ഞാനത് വരികളിൽ എഴുതി, അവിടെ സ്വർഗത്തിൽ നിന്നുള്ള ഒരു സംഗീതം ഭൂമിയിലേക്ക് അരിച്ചിറങ്ങുന്നത് പോലെ. ഞാൻ സാറിൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് പറഞ്ഞത് അങ്ങനെയാണ്, എനിക്ക് അവിടെ എവിടെയോ ഒരു ദൂരത്തു നിന്ന് ഒരു സ്വർഗീയ സംഗീതം താഴേക്ക് പൊഴിഞ്ഞിറങ്ങുന്ന പോലെ. അതാണ് ഇന്നലെ നിങ്ങളെങ്കിലുമൊക്കെ കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ട് ഒരു തീം മ്യൂസിക്കിനകത്ത്